Welcome back to the Go Get Outside YouTube channel. On today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 things that you need to start duck hunting. On the first 3 things that we're going to talk about, they are the absolutely necessary things to go hunting. The other 2 things that we'll be talking about at the end are if you want to go hunting by yourself or if you want to be the one that leads the group that goes hunting. Before we get too far into today's video, I'd like to give a quick shout out and thanks to my Aunt Brittany for these mics that we got. They're definitely going to improve our videos in the future videos. So thank you, Aunt Brittany, for those. Let's talk about the first thing that you need to go hunting. To go hunting, you need a license, and when you buy your license, they'll send you a stamp in the mail that looks like this. The 2025-2026 stamp just came out, and it's going to be a spoonbill if I remember correctly. But the very first thing that you need is to get a license, and you'll have to check with your state to see which ones are necessary to legally hunt waterfowl. The second thing on our list is a shotgun and ammunition. So I shoot a 12 gauge shotgun. This is a Stoeger M3500. I've had this gun for several seasons and I have not babied it, and it has held up very well. So this is a middle of the road shotgun. As far as price goes, you can buy some that are much more expensive, but the reliability of this gun is unmatched and the patterns are very great out of it. I have loved this gun, and I highly recommend it to anybody. You don't need a $2,000 shotgun to start duck hunting. In fact, if it's your first time duck hunting, I would heavily consider getting a pump action and staying under the $400 range. Does not have to be camo. It can be black, it can be wood, it can be a pump or an automatic. It doesn't matter. So once you have your shotgun, whether that be 12 gauge like this one or 20 gauge if you prefer less recoil, you'll need to get some shells. I like 3-inch shells or 3.5-inch shotgun shells. This gun will shoot all the way up to 3.5-inch, but you'll have to check with your gun and see if it can shoot 2 3/4, 3-inch, or 3.5-inch shells. So get you some shells and a shotgun, you'll be ready to go hunting. Just a little tip. Some of the shells that I like to use, I like to stay between number 2 shot and number 4 shot for duck hunting. I like to shoot number 6 or number 7s, 7.5 for dove hunting. And for goose hunting, I like to shoot double BBs. The third thing on our list is going to be clothing or apparel. So very first thing that you need for duck hunting is a pair of waders. Waders allow you to walk in the water without getting wet, and if you can find some that are pretty heavily insulated where you don't need to wear much underneath them. But these waders here were $100 brand new, and they've held up great. If you can look at the number on the boot, the higher the number, the more insulated they'll be. And you do not want cold feet, so get one with a fairly high number. 1200 is really good. The second part of the apparel that you'll need is a good heavy jacket. I prefer waterproof. I've had them before that aren't waterproof, and a lot of times when you're duck hunting, it's in nasty weather. So a good waterproof jacket is an essential for me, but you could definitely get by with one for your first couple hunts that's not waterproof. But as you move forward in your duck hunting, you'll definitely want to get one that's waterproof, like this one. The more little extras that can go in with clothing are the neck gaiter and the boggin. With the waders and the jacket, you're pretty much covered up to your neck. Well, the neck gaiter really is a huge improvement to warmth, and the boggin covers your ears and your head and keeps it warm. So I highly recommend getting these 2 also. So now that we've gotten the 3 out of the way that are absolutely necessary no matter what kind of duck hunting you're doing, the 2 other things that will allow you to go duck hunting by yourself rather than just tagging along with a friend is a duck call and a decoy. So the first one is a duck call, and I would recommend a mallard call which is your most common type of duck call. And if it's your first one, I would choose a double reed duck call. Does not have to be expensive at all. The Buck Garner Double Nasty is supposedly one of the best beginner calls on the market, and I think you can purchase it for under $30. A little insider tip for trying to figure out how to blow a duck call is don't worry with the feeder chuckle. Just figure out the quack. The quack is super useful during a hunt, and really it's all you need for landing a few birds. The fifth and final thing that you're going to need to start going duck hunting is decoys. I recommend getting a dozen mallard decoys because any ducks in the south will land with a group of mallards. You can pick these up for fairly cheap. I got my first set for $50 brand new from Walmart, and if you're going to buy them used, you can get them for less than that. So get you a dozen mallard decoys and get you some Texas rigs. This is the only area where I probably would not skimp. Get quality Texas rigs, because trying to do them on your own out of regular string will end up being a tangled mess if you're not super careful. These out of this plastic wiry material will not tangle on you, and just believe me, it is worth the extra $15 it takes to buy these over the supplies that you need to make them yourself out of string. So thank you for watching, and go get outside, kill some ducks.